The front door creaked open on its own, revealing a gaping darkness that seemed to swallow the last rays of sunlight, as if the house itself were alive and hungry. Lena froze on the overgrown porch, her suitcase slipping from her trembling hands. She'd inherited this crumbling Victorian mansion in Willow Creek after her estranged grandmother's death, a woman she barely knew but whose cryptic letters had haunted her for years. The air inside carried a chill that sank into her bones, and a faint whisper, like a child's voice, brushed past her ear. Lena, a single mother in her late 20s struggling to rebuild her life after a messy divorce, didn't believe in ghosts. But standing there, with her 6-year-old son, Eli, clutching her leg, she felt the weight of something ancient and unresolved. Lena's life had been a series of battles. After her divorce, she'd lost her steady job as a teacher due to budget cuts, leaving her and Eli in a cramped apartment with barely enough to get by. The inheritance was a lifeline, a chance to start over, despite the rumors swirling around Willow Creek about the Hollow House. Locals called it cursed, claiming it drove its occupants mad or worse. But Lena saw potential, a fixer-upper she could sell for profit. Eli, with his wide eyes and quiet demeanor, had been her rock through the chaos, though she worried about the toll it took on him. His recent nightmares, filled with shadowy figures, mirrored the unease she felt stepping into this house. Inside, the air was stale, the walls peeling with faded wallpaper that hinted at a once grand home. Lena set up a makeshift camp in the parlor, unpacking blankets and a battery-powered lamp. Eli clung to a worn teddy bear, his small voice breaking the silence. "Mommy, it's sad here." Before she could respond, a thud echoed from upstairs, followed by a child's giggle that wasn't Eli's. Her heart raced, but she forced a brave smile for him. "Probably just the house settling," she lied, though the sound lingered in her mind. That night, as Eli slept, Lena explored, finding an old photograph in a dusty attic trunk. It showed her grandmother, young and smiling, with a boy who looked eerily like Eli. On the back, scratched in shaky handwriting, were the words, "Forgive me, Tommy." The discovery ignited a spark of curiosity. Lena's grandmother had never mentioned a son, and family lore was silent on the matter. The next day, she met Jasper, a gruff but kind-hearted handyman in his 50s who'd grown up in Willow Creek. He'd avoided the Hollow House his whole life, but Lena's determination and the promise of extra cash convinced him to help. Jasper shared a chilling tale. Decades ago, her grandmother's brother, Tommy, had vanished from the house, and she'd been institutionalized, whispering about a hollow that took him. Lena felt a pang of empathy for her grandmother, imagining the guilt of losing a sibling. Together, they began repairs, but the house fought back. Their first challenge was the physical state of the Hollow House. Rotting floorboards gave way underfoot, and a collapsed staircase forced them to navigate through precarious detours. Lena, unused to manual labor, struggled with exhaustion, her hands blistered from hammering nails. Jasper, battling arthritis, pushed through the pain, his own past loss, his wife's death from cancer, fueling his resolve to help Lena. The house seemed to resist their efforts, with tools disappearing and windows slamming shut on their own. Eli's nightmares worsened, his cries waking them to see shadowy shapes at his bedside. Lena's fear of failing her son clashed with her need to provide, testing her limits. The second challenge was the emotional toll of the truth they uncovered. In a hidden basement, they found a child's room, its walls scratched with desperate pleas, "Help me, I'm here." A journal, tucked under a loose floorboard, belonged to Tommy. His entries detailed how their grandmother, overwhelmed by poverty and ailing parents, had locked him away, believing he was possessed by a malevolent force. The hollow wasn't just the house, it was the void of love and understanding that had consumed them. Lena wept, seeing her own struggles in her grandmother's desperation. Jasper, hardened by life, softened, admitting he'd shut out his own grief. The journal ended with Tommy's final words, "She forgot me." The greatest challenge came when the house turned hostile. As Lena read the journal aloud, the temperature plummeted, and whispers filled the air, coalescing into Tommy's voice begging for release. Furniture moved on its own, pinning Jasper under a fallen beam. Eli screamed, a shadowy figure looming over him. Lena's panic surged, fear of losing her son, like her grandmother lost Tommy, threatened to break her. But she fought back, grabbing the journal and shouting, "I forgive you, Tommy. You're not alone." The shadow hesitated, then dissolved. Jasper freed himself, and the house stilled. Lena realized the hollow was Tommy's trapped spirit, bound by his sister's guilt and her own unresolved pain, they resolved to heal the past. Lena and Jasper burned the journal in the fireplace, a symbolic release, and held a small ceremony with Eli, leaving flowers where Tommy's room had been. The house's oppressive atmosphere lifted, and repairs progressed smoothly. Lena contacted a local historian, who confirmed Tommy's story, leading to a community effort to restore the Hollow House as a memorial. Lena turned it into a community center, using the sale proceeds to stabilize her family. Jasper found purpose in mentoring local kids, including Eli, who began to smile again. The nightmares stopped, replaced by dreams of a boy playing in sunlight. The Hollow House became a symbol of redemption. Lena, once broken by divorce and hardship, found strength in forgiveness, for her grandmother and herself. Jasper reclaimed his joy, and Eli grew with a sense of belonging. For the viewers of Lena's YouTube vlog, which chronicled their journey, the message was clear: even the deepest hollows can be filled with love, courage, and the willingness to face the past. As the camera panned over the restored house, now alive with laughter,